back of my boat for me to get them out, because instead of just holding on at the back, they're just going to be like a parachute to me. And even if they're swimming trying to help me out, we're not going to go anywhere quickly this way. So my encouragement is, if they'll just get up on the back like this, you know, immediately it's going to be a lot easier for both of us to get over to the side. Of course, for them, instead of dragging along down in the water, they get up here, they can see and breathe a whole lot easier, and of course we're just going to be moving a lot quicker. So essentially that's my excuse to just get them into the water. I'm going to show them that, you know, that's how I'm going to rescue them if need be. Now, truth be told, you know, for me, what I like to do is I like to actually keep people from even getting out of their boats. You know, if they flip over, what I can do is I can just run up to the side of them in my boat and then right their boat, even if they don't have a roll. So that saves them a lot of time and effort. But this is a good way to just get them into the boat, and again, kind of avoid that wiggly syndrome. You know, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lower the ego boundary so that it's cool to be in the water, where, you know, invariably different people are going to have different talents. You know, shoving them off into the water, somebody is likely to fall, whether, you know, by mistake or by somebody else's fault or whatever. And I'd much rather just get everybody in on an even playing field. Everybody's in the water. It's cool to be in the water. And frankly, it's going to be funny if somebody falls from this, because really nobody's good at this, you know? I mean, nobody's real good at it. And if you get into the water like this is how you would do it from deep water. You know, people are going to be wobbling around and people are going to be falling. It's just going to be a good time instead of this kind of like worrisome, ooh, am I going to fall? Am I going to do this right? You know? Basically, you just get up here and stick your feet in, and voila, you're in your boat. Now, of course, on rivers, most of the time we go over to the side and get in on the side, but if you're ever in open water like the ocean or a big lake or something like that, that's how you'd have to get into your boat. So it's also a good skill to learn, a good thing to practice. Again, what I'm trying to do is to get them to execute things before they need to do them, so they feel comfortable doing them if they ever have to. The most important thing for me, though, is just that I'm getting them into the water, and we're starting to get them into having a good time, as opposed to starting them out in the boat, shoving them off into the water, and having that potential for failure. Since they've already been in the water, it's not a failure if they fall now, and it's just going to be part of it. Essentially, what I'm going to do, if I do fall, to get out, is, you can see I'm wearing a PFD. Anytime that you feel unstable in one of these boats, you can anchor your balance by just tucking to the front. By doing that, you're driving down through your heels into the bottom of the boat, and you're lowering your center of gravity. Those two things generally will just stop any of the rocking that's taking place in your boat. You know, what a lot of people do is when the boat starts teetering, they try and teeter it back, and then they go too far and they try and teeter it back again, and that's the third time that gets them. It's a lot better if you just stop all that right away. Stop it all by tucking to the front, and then the boat settles out and it'll ride you through just about anything. If you do fall, though, basically it's real easy to get out. Essentially, it's 3 steps that I want you to remember. The first we've already talked about. You're tucked up. You're in a protected position there. I'm going to have a helmet and a life jacket between me and the bottom of the lake here right now. I'm also in a perfect position to grab my ripcord, right? That's the second part. I'm going to grab my ripcord, and when I get it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean back to pull it. And then I put my hands at my hips, put my feet in the seat, and then climb the kayak. Now, the reason I emphasize that is because, I don't know about you, but I learned to swim under the water. So when I hit the water, what's the first thing I think to do? To swim, right? Well, if I'm upside down and I'm swimming, which direction am I going? You're going down, right? Much better to keep hold of this kayak and pull yourself up to the top. Is that making sense to everybody? All right, let me do it real quick. What I'd like you to do while I'm doing it is you would just hold your breath, okay? What this is going to do is it's going to give you a sensitivity to how long this really takes and what it's really going to feel like. Essentially, I'm going to do this slow motion, you know, kind of emphasizing each step so that you guys can see it. Of course, you guys are going to be able to do this much more quickly on your own, but even so, you get a real sense for how long this is really taking. Obviously, upside down underwater, you know, time seems to speed up, but I'd like for you to have a sense here while you're just standing there for how long this is really taking. So again, just hold your breath from the time that I go under to the time that I come up. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pretty easy, right? No problem to hold your breath that long. I guarantee that you know, these boats will just dump you out too. What you saw there is that I kept hold of the boat. It's unfortunate that the water's so muddy right now, you can't really see where I was probably, but basically I was very shallow. I was very, very close to the surface the entire time because I kept hold of that boat the entire time. And that really helps you in getting out. It's okay if you just kick and go and get out of there here at the lake, but you know, once you get to be a good kayaker, it's probably not going to be something you're going to be thinking about anymore. You're not going to be thinking about how to get out of your boat. If you ever have to, though, there's a reason you're going to be thinking about what that reason is. You're not going to be thinking about how you're going to get out of the boat. So what I like is I like to develop folks, you know, with good habits right off the bat. So if you get out of this properly right now here at the lake, then when you get into a situation where it's going to really matter, then you're going to do it properly there too. You know, like I said, I really like to start with the boat full of water, and so I think it's totally cool to have it that way. But in case you are going to empty it out, you're always going to empty it out upside down. So my encouragement is if you flip, go ahead and keep the boat upside down. There's really no use in picking it up. If you do, what's going to happen?
Fill with water.
It's going to fill up, right? This is how you're going to get it out anyway, so just keep it upside down. That way it keeps air trapped into it. It's going to be lighter and easier for you to move, and then you can just seesaw the water out of it on the side like this or with a buddy. All right, so what do you say? You guys want to get in? Hey, if you guys would, you know, team up again, come on out and you know, grab your boat, put it in the water, and then climb into it like we talked about off the back, like you would in open water. And then your partners will keep your paddle for you so that you can start using it whenever you get into your boat. That would be awesome.